Hi YouTube, I had most of these Kenner Star Wars figures as a kid growing up in the 80s and I really loved them. I used to collect them back then and I had most of them, and then when I was older I just collected back the last ones that I needed to complete the whole set. And then since then I've kind of missed collecting Star Wars figures, so I wanted to find something else that was similar to collect, and then I came across the Kubrick Star Wars figures, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video today. So this is how I've got my Star Wars Kubricks at the moment, just in drawers. I did have them set up in a cabinet for a while, and I actually stuck little sticky pads to some of their feet and then put them on like little glass shelves. But actually, if I do it again, I'll do it properly. They've got little holes in the bottom of their feet and you can put them on little pegs. But the reason that I've got them in drawers again is because it's an ongoing collection. So until I feel like it's a complete collection, I don't really want to set them up because you have to keep moving the positions and things that they're in unless you know, or you can figure out exactly how you want to have them in a particular order. So these Star Wars Kubricks, they're really nice. They're like a sort of a cross really between the old Kenner Star Wars figures and maybe Lego Star Wars figures. I do collect the Lego Star Wars figures as well, and they're really good. There are hundreds and hundreds of those to collect, but there aren't quite so many of the Kubricks, but they're, I think, an even nicer quality. They're quite a bit bigger. When you hold them in your hand you can feel the matte sort of texture of some of them. I don't know, they just have this really nice quality about them. They're called Kubrick Unbreakable as well. I'm not sure, obviously I haven't tried to break any of them to see how true that is, but I sort of assume that they're very tough if they're called Unbreakable. So yeah, I'd recommend these highly. They come with lots of kind of little detailed weapons and things, and I just keep those loose with them in these drawers at the moment, but when I put them into a cabinet I'll try and set them up with their weapons so they can be displayed as well. You can buy these individually on eBay, but I think you're better off buying them in sets. They've made quite a few series so far, and when you buy a series they come in boxes and you can open the box for a particular figure, and if you're lucky you get what's called a chase figure instead. So you'll be expecting one figure and you get a rare chase figure instead, and some of those are just a little bit rare, and some of them are really rare. I think it's like you get a chance of like 1 in 96 or something of getting one of these really rare ones. And I've got a few of those, but I just am getting them very gradually, just one here and there. If I happen to find them as a complete bargain on eBay or something, I'll get one, but otherwise they can be quite expensive, so I'll just kind of ignore them. The rarer figures do seem to hold their value though. I'm somebody who looks at eBay quite regularly and tries to look at prices and see how they're going. So I have noticed that the prices of the rarer figures have risen over the years, so they are still a pretty good investment, I think. If these Star Wars Kubricks were literally the only thing I was collecting, I would try my best to collect every single one and all the chase figures and everything. But because I collect so many other kind of 80s toys as well, and other things too, I just wanted to get a general selection of these together. And I've been doing it over the years, so every so often if I see a good bargain I'll just add a few more figures to the collection, and it just is growing very gradually. So after the first sets that they did, they started making what are called DX series. And the DX series figures were similar in that you would have a set of figures, but each one would come with a part, and the parts would be joined together to make, for example, Luke's land speeder or an ATST walker or a probe droid or something like this. And one of the things you could make was Jabba the Hutt, and I've got Jabba the Hutt. I've got Luke's land speeder as well, but I wasn't fussed at all about collecting anything that is, like a spaceship or anything like that. I just wanted the figures. So the land speeder, I've got it in a cabinet somewhere, but the Jabba the Hutt was important to me because he's an actual character. It's really nice to be able to get the parts and join them together and make a larger item. And I'll show you Jabba the Hutt in a little bit. It will be really nice one day to see all of these very neatly lined up in rows in a cabinet. But for now, I'm quite happy to have them in drawers like this. It keeps them safe. It also keeps them in the dark. I don't think figures nowadays probably fade in the same way that figures used to. Figures from the 80s and that sort of thing. But you know, just to be on the safe side, it's quite nice keeping them in the dark anyway. So even figures that I have where I do keep them in a cabinet with a glass front, quite often I'll make a door, like a solid wooden door or something, to go over the front of the cabinet, just to stop light getting to them for the majority of the time. It's alright when you open it to show people or whatever, but I like to keep all of my toys in the dark wherever possible. Right, you can spend a bit more and buy the figures in packets like this, looking like the Kenner Star Wars figure packets but with the Kubrick twist. I've only got this Luke Skywalker like this, just as an example. Right, here's the Jabba the Hutt figure. You can see he's much bigger. You can see the base there in a few sections that have been joined. I think his tail was a separate section, the pipe and everything slots on as well. So he's made of quite a few different sections, but yeah, really nice, same quality and a lot bigger. He clearly wouldn't normally fit in this drawer, so I keep him in a separate cabinet. You can see my list of figures in the background there. This is what I quite often do when I'm collecting things, write a list and then cross off all the ones as I get them. Right, a big portion of my channel is about collecting 80s toys. It's about the sort of nostalgic quality of them and sort of allowing people to relive their childhood. I know these are clearly not 80s toys, but they just reminded me so much of the old Kenner Star Wars figures that I just couldn't resist collecting these as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's really just to show you the quality of these, just in case any of you are starting to think about collecting them for yourselves. Hit subscribe to see any videos that I post in the future and to support the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.